Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 67 of my Season Let's Play. So as you can see, my cycle from my previous time that I've been within my nuclear reactors have finished. So let's see what am I doing here right now. So I invested, in that entire cycle I placed 22 nuclear cells. I got 2 back, and actually I got 8 back out of 22. And also upgraded, so to speak, 3 nuclear cells back into uranium cells. So I'm not really sure about the math, how efficient that is, but at least now I'm generating more energy. As you can see, this is actually, okay, now it's actually finished emptying. There was a large period of time where this was full, and actually at the speed of which I got the energy out of here was slower than the actual accumulating speed. So it was staying here for quite a long time. Alright, so let me set up another cycle altogether, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just replenished the supply here for a new cycle, and here I made a slight change, or actually kind of a big change. I've changed the configuration to look something like this, that also use heat exchangers. As you can see, if you look closely, every overclocked heat vent that is surrounded by a component heat vent isn't touching an heat exchanger, and every one of those that doesn't, like on the edges that can't connect to 4 component heat vents, is connected to a heat exchanger, so all of them are networked together. And this basically allows me to go for 2 quads and 2 doubles instead of 3 doubles and 1 quad. So it's a little bit more efficient. Not by much, but a little bit more. Again, I do have a large surplus of energy, but yeah, this helps me quite a lot. So I think overall I am generating still more near depleted uranium cells than using them, but the overall number has lowered. Like it will generate less per cells created, because now I'm also getting some of them back. I may eventually also want to go for a completely efficient my blaze rods, what's going on here? I may eventually will go for... Am I playing on peaceful or something? No, I'm on normal. So where is all my blaze rods? Okay, that's odd. Anyway, eventually I may build a 3rd reactor, which will be completely dedicated to breeding cells. But for the time being, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, so more bee stuff. I've added some stones here because I realized that those rocky drones may want some stones as their flowers, kind of. And that doesn't seem to be the case, at least nothing that I can see so far. Their produce is quite low. And for the rest of the bees, pretty much the same. There are 2 things that I'd like to start with this episode. The first one is actually finally getting a beealyzer, so I can start analyzing my bees and see what's what. And the second thing is actually something new altogether, which I haven't built before because I didn't know it exists before. At least I didn't know it. I think it actually was in the older version, which is an indexer. That's kind of a sophisticated chest block that can store an infinite amount of bees, which is apparently, in my opinion, a very useful thing, because if I can store my bees forever, that will be nice to get rid of this annoying chest right here. This is kind of slow. Oh, I think what's the problem? I think I know what's the problem, yeah. I did have some issues with the cycles again, and that happened somehow. So right now it's digging on thin air, because I pulled it back a few blocks to actually make sure it resets itself. Other than doing this manually, this is easier in my opinion, just fire and forget. I added orange wires here and here for the state cells to actually introduce the locking mechanism for the state cell to make sure that they're not sending signal even when I don't want them to. For now, at least the core itself didn't break down completely like it did before. There was that period when they were just the frames were going out of sync completely and it completely broke down. That's not the case anymore, but it's still there are some issues with when are the frames going up, when are they going forward, when are they going down. Sometimes it goes out of sync and the result is, as you've seen, some weird shapes. Anyway, let's get started. I'd like to actually get a Beealizer. So I'm going to need redstone, tin, diamond, and glass panes. Should have some glass panes, redstone, tin, and 1 diamond. I already have 5 stacks of diamonds, not bad. Clear that recipe and set this one up. Redstone, diamond, and tin. That's clearly not the recipe. Or is it diamond, redstone, glass panes, and tin? What's the problem? Maybe that's the wrong redstone? Tin? Do I need this tin? Nope. Am I just short on water? That's the problem. Does it recognize the recipe without water? I do create it in the carpenter, right? Yep, carpenter. Diamond, redstone, tin, glass panes. Oh, I need 2 buckets of water, it seems. Maybe that's the problem? And again, tin. Okay, I got it. Probably the water was the issue. Okay, and while this one gets built, let's get the indexer. Now this indexer is using a new block called the apiarist machine, which is actually used in a lot of new different kinds of blocks. A genetic machine in no clue, apiarist databank, and indexer, and I think there is another advanced one, or not. Anyway, yeah, what's the apiarist databank? Interesting stuff. Oh, I guess, yeah. Indexer. Okay, let's just get started. Let's get the apiarist machine. So it's sturdy, casing, copper, and redstone. Sturdy casing, copper, and I already have some redstone. So build one of those, and I'm gonna need diamond, redstone, and 6 chests to complete it. So this will basically give me kind of an endless inventory. Alright, got my Beealizer, got my new type of block. Let's see how they work. Now I think for this one I don't really know if it needs energy or not. I'm going to assume it's not and just start with it. Okay, can I index stuff? Let's Beealize something and try to index it. So got my honey drops. Place them here, let's start Beealizing. Okay, let's assume this one is an awesome bee. Can I just... okay, there we go. So this is basically an endless inventory that I can store bees forever here, which is quite good, and I can now finally figure out what's the problem with the queen. Oh, so it still needs flowers even though it's in a wintry area. Okay, then let's try again replacing that queen in a place it will be happy with, because I don't really know why it didn't work. Oh, actually, now I do. Let's get some flowers. Okay, and probably gonna need some actual dirt to plant the flowers, unless they have a plan on how to plant flowers in a non-wintry zone. Okay, so place down the apiary, place the winter bee, which still considered this an hostile environment. This is an icy and arid place. They like, oh, they like humidity, a normal humidity, not an arid humidity. Okay, so I guess that's a problem. Can I try and place flowers anyway? No, that's still a hostile environment because the humidity here is arid and they like normal humidity. So I guess a glacier is a bad idea. I'm probably gonna need a taiga area. So I can't actually use my snow bees yet. At least not without the alveoli, because the alveoli I think can cheat the bees to think they're in the places they're not, and which is actually quite awesome, but that's not yet the case. Okay, let's try stuff with the marble bees. I do have a spare apiary now, so let's try the marble bees. Let's see what they like. Let's get a marble princess and a marble drone to do stuff. And let's see what these two like. Okay. So they like flowers, that's great. They'll short lifespan. Okay. Let's just let this one cook. And I can store this bee. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite awesome. It basically stores bees infinitely, so I can store more bees. I'd actually would only like to store bees which are identified, or at least, you know what, at this stage it's not really interesting, at least not that much. Does it get sorted? Okay, something just went bad. Yeah, the inventory system here is quite weird. Okay, so I can sort them like this. By type, by species, by type. What's type? Like princess and drone and none. Okay. I probably would like to get more resilient frames. Yep, I'd very much like that. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but my tools are gone. I think when I tried to sort using sorting action on that indexer, make stuff disappear. I just lost my staff and my tools, my sword and pickaxe. What's going on? Are they like... What happens if I try to break this? Well, it dropped the bees, but it didn't... Okay, I just lost all my tools. I just lost my blade, my pickaxe, my hatchet, and the new staff from Xeno's Requiliary. I think that's not very fair. And I have no clue where they are. This is actually very much annoying. I can craft them again. Like, the price of the material is not the problem. The problem is the enchants that took me quite some time to get. That's actually quite annoying. Okay, I do believe this is quite an unfair case, and I'm going to fix myself again with cheat mode, unfortunately, because this is simply an unfortunate bug. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got myself fixed for now. I did get myself everything back. Same enchant, same everything. However, I'm really not a big fan of this thing happening, because mainly I'm pretty sure that's not intended, and that actually quite scares me, because that can happen just any second again. So, really not a big fan of that. Let's see, is my core still running? Yeah, it's still in course to fix itself. Right now, it's 4 blocks. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So it should fix itself eventually. Okay, so I'm gonna get to building more frames, more of those specific magic frames, and so I can supply all my bees with this. Then I'm probably gonna start looking into actually automating the bee stuff. So let me get started. Okay, so every apiary now has 3 of those resilient frames, and also my desert bees, and I also have 3 spare ones of those here right now. Okay, there is lately something very annoying. As you can see, this golem is farming stuff, yet nothing is being collected. Because for some reason, this wooden guy keeps deciding to go out and stay out for no reason, and I don't know why. So, what I'm going to do is actually completely seal him inside. I'm going to completely encase the entire thing with glass. So he stops going outside because this is starting to get really annoying. So let me quickly take care of that and I'll be right back. Okay, so before actually encasing my farm, I came here to take a quick look at something in this mining age. Now there's something strange. Let's actually turn this off quickly. When the frame core reached the topmost layer, it seems like when it went forward, right after going forward it also went up. Like going forward and going up directly. Now within my logic that I've done here, it doesn't make any sense. Now I actually think that that's an unintended result of the logic here, causing after the toggle switch to actually send like a signal still remains here. And it's something I can't really explain, to be honest. So what I'm going to try and do is replace the signal here with basically add another 1 tick repeater to the orange signal here. Of course I'm going to need to quickly connect everything else here with the bundle cable, but I think that may finally solve my problem. I'm not sure it's again, as always, it's working until it's broken again, but I think this may be a problem solver or another problem cause, but again, you know. So we'll see if that actually finally solves my problem here with everything desyncing all the time. Okay, so now everything is encased in glass. It's just a one big giant greenhouse. I did leave one spot specifically here hollow on purpose, because more often than not I collect a bunch of things and I just have spares and I'm too lazy to just sort them. So this way I can just throw them back inside and the golems inside will take care of them. So as you can see, it's a very handy tool. And then they just get sorted back again using the relay and the barrels. So yeah. Okay, so I think it will be a good time to also start automating my apiaries. As you can see, I already have 3 at the moment. And every one of them generates a different kind of combs and princesses and bees and all that kind of good stuff. And I'd like to actually get it automated. Now forestry is very much based on using it together with Buildcraft. You can use red power, but I'm not going to go against the stream on purpose. Let's try using Buildcraft. So actually I'm going to start doing some tests here in regard to the centrifuge. I'm not exactly sure what's like what slot does the centrifuge need items going into to actually interact properly. So let's start first assuming it should be going to the top. So if stuff go to the top, do they get centrifuged properly? Yep, awesome. If they go to the side, will it also work? Let's get the inventory empty. Okay, if they go to the side, no, it doesn't work. Okay, so the sides interact with the actual results and the top interacts with the top, with the processed. Now, I'm considering using something completely new for thermal expansion called tesseracts, which are basically teleport pipes. And they're very handy because if I'm going to have apiaries all over the place, I don't really want an intricate tubing systems or piping system, and having a tesseract will be a very nice thing. However, for tesseracts similar to the red power conductive system, which use molten redstone, here I'm going to need molten ender. And to get molten ender, let's see, 1 ender pearl gives me how many? Magma crucible. Every ender pearl gives me 1/4 of a bucket. And for the tesseracts, basically each one would require 4 ender pearls. So basically, for 1 teleport pipe, you're gonna need 4 ender pearls. And then you just define whether or not it's an energy, liquid, or item tesseract, but that's a different story altogether. How many ender pearls do I have right now? I have 7. Exactly not enough. What can I do with ender pearl dust? Can create 9 back into an ender pearl, so that may be a solution for me. that will give me 2 teleport pipes. Yeah, sure, let's do that. So let's get 7 ender pearls and 9 of those ender pearl dusts, and reform the dust back into an ender pearl. And regarding to the already existing lava buckets, let's just pull it out with a can. I should have spare aluminum can. I think that can be very easily used as a collection tool. I need to fill up. Okay, I guess aluminum cans cannot be filled up. So I bet the normal can should be. Just a normal tin can should be able to be filled up. Or not. Can't I fill up? Oh, only cells. That's really odd though. Can't I fill up? Where is the molten redstone? What's this? Liquid DNA. Okay, molten redstone I can fill up. Oh, it cannot be stored. Okay, let's just create some energy conduits instead. 20 energy conduits will be an easier process. Okay, meanwhile I can at least also start smelting the ender pearls into the respective liquid form. And while I'm also cooking, I got enough electrum blends, enough electrum ingots that is. Let's create 20 energy conduits. 120. Don't need any more, and just empty out the existing liquid redstone that I have here. Okay, so other than that, the actual tesseracts also, same as the cells, require a basic frame to begin with. So I'm going to need 2 of those. So some hardened glass, some tin, and a diamond. So 2 diamonds and tin. I do have the rest of the glass on me. So 2 tesseract frames. And same as the old teleport pipes, you can have a single output versus multiple inputs. Or also, I think you can have 2 outputs, but then you start like gambling on what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to let this run and fill up. And I'm also going to use apiarist pipes. They're pipes specifically designed. Oh, I don't have propolis. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That's actually something I did not take into consideration. I still don't have the specific bees that generate propolis, so I can't actually create the apiarist pipe yet. And the thing is, without an apiarist pipe, they're quite not so easy to sort, those bees. Actually, I got the legitimate honeycomb, the most basic one, which is used to just generate beeswax, honey drops, and the actual apiarist chest. Or you can use any comb to create it. This is basically the tier 1 version of this thing. It can store quite a large amount of bees, but yeah, the indexer should be able to store more. Okay, I got my 2 unattuned tesseracts. Now let's actually create the item tesseracts. So I'm going to need, for the item one, I'm going to need silver, tin, and a pneumatic servo. Okay, so 2 pneumatic servos, and the rest is a piece of cake. Now, at the moment, there is no much point here because I can't actually use it, but the tesseract is actually a very smart thing. It can sense that this is an inventory, and anything going through it will have no problem. Okay, there is some configuration here. Public access, this is a receive only. Although nothing else is being set up, but you can actually again turn it on and off with redstone. I think you can dictate what frequency it runs on. It's actually quite an awesome tool. Can I just break it like this? Yep, okay. Okay, so unfortunately for now this is out of the question because I can't actually use it. And I'm pretty sure that if I try using red power tubes, it won't work as well. And using a diamond pipe isn't as good as an apiarist pipe. It has a specific property that you cannot simply replace. Okay, taking a quickly short break from the bee stuff, just came here to quickly see if the thing is fixed. If after going forward it immediately goes up again, it should happen right now. Okay, so it goes forward and stays forward. Okay, that's good. Because for some reason what apparently was causing the stair formation at the bottom of the pit was because it went forward and then up, and that going up wasn't the part of the timer or the counter, to be more precise. It went out of sync completely, so it didn't go to the bottommost layer of the quarry, basically resulting in an out of sync completely. So that out of sync was happening because every layer didn't go to the bottommost layer, and that was happening over and over and over again. So at least now it seems to be fixed until it will happen again. Okay, so for the extra propolis thing I need, comes mostly out of stringy combs, and I'm not sure what furtive combs are, but also silky propolis comes from silky combs, which are mainly jungle bees, if I'm not mistaken. Mostly what I'm interested in are the stringy combs. And those are generated by pretty much the most basic mutation bees you can have, which are common bees. Common bees are the most basic mutation that usually comes out when you're trying to mutate basic bees. So let me try. I created 4 more apiaries to try an experiment. Let's see what can I get. Let's try experimenting. Let's get 1 marbled princess with a valiant drone. Let's try, what else do I have? Let's try a steadfast princess with a valiant drone. Let's try a marbled princess with a rocky drone. And I'd rather not try wind tree because they keep their tolerance to humidity pretty high. I'd rather not have that. What else do I have? Let's try a rocky princess with a steadfast drone. So I'm trying all sorts of combinations of different bees. This is pretty much, in my opinion, the best way to start experimenting with, start trying to combine different bees and see what results you get. Okay, now what I've learned from my experience with Feed the Beast challenge, when you mutate bees, the queen that you get out is never the actual result of the mutation. You need to wait for the queen to do her thing, to die, and then you get the actual result of the mutation. So all of them are happy. They're all in your normal conditions for them to work and die with. And so let's just let them do their thing for now and see what result do I get from them. Okay, I came here to take a look. My cycle is currently at 1 hour and 55 minutes remaining, so pretty much like, what, 20% through, even less. And you can already see what I was talking about. I'm generating a lot more energy that I can actually move around. And that's, by the way, that's actually the result of me losing Lapotronic crystals over time. Because theoretically I could have not lost anything, but the problem is that I always eventually end up with having only 1 Lapotron crystal in the system. I could place 5 of them in the system, in the Ender Chest system, and over time suddenly some of them disappear until I only have just 1. So as you can see, the timer here stopped, the cycle stopped, because it's no longer generating energy, and you can see also the repeater thing I've placed in action. So because this MFEC is generating redstone signal, it sends signal to both NOT gates, shutting the reactors down, so they're not consuming cells anymore, supposedly wasting energy. And when this will be emptying again, it will resume work. So I have a ton of EU energy, to make a long story short. Okay, I came here to take a look to see how my bees are doing, and apparently, oh, it works. Okay, so the marbled queen didn't have flowers. I guess it was too far away from those flowers, so I moved 4 of them. But I guess it just took a long time to update, because for some reason those flowers I placed didn't seem to do anything at first, but now it seems to be working. And also here I combined a Valiant Queen with a Marble Drone, a Valiant Princess that is. Again, trying all sorts of combinations until I can get the right bee that will give me the properties that I need. And I think now I'm also going to go on a manual world exploration with some scoops to actually keep finding more and more bees, because the larger gene pool you can start with, the better you are. So you can also easily create more larger combinations of bees. So getting another scoop done and going on some bee hunting. Okay, found a new type of hive I don't actually recognize. Those are meadows. Yes, those are actually also a good combination for the basic bees. Meadows again are one of the basic ones, together with Valiant, and I think there are basically considered to be 5 basic ones, although finding the marble ones in the Twilight Forest does probably change things a bit, and also I guess other mods as well. But again, just gathering as much as I can, the larger variety as I can, will be a pretty good idea. Okay, so I'm back here. Let's see what's what. Let me get my Beealyzer. Let's see if any bee just finished mutating and dying and everything. Still alive, still alive. This one is dead. Let's see what I've got out of this one. Okay, the active one is a Rocky. The inactive is Steadfast. Yeah, this is not actually the best thing. Let's try combining this Rocky Drone with a new Meadows Princess. And is anything else done? Nope. May want to consider my mutating, the new special mutating frames from Thumbcraft. Might be a good idea. Specifically because that's what I'm trying to do right now. Specifically make them mutate. But until then, yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna do more of this off screen. Hopefully get some good stuff. And until then, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.